Reason number 4 can be hypoglycemic type issues. Some people have insulin that almost acts like a bully, like it almost works a little bit too well and too effective. And when somebody eats carbohydrates and raises their blood sugar, their insulin sweeps out way too much blood sugar way too fast. And when blood sugar crashes, the body's going to say, hey, I'm having some trouble here. I need a little bit of fuel. Can you give me something else? So this person can feel hungry very soon after a meal, and they can be hungry for most of the day if their body is sweeping out blood sugar too aggressively. Problem number 5 is insulin staying too high too long. If someone's eating a lot of carbohydrates and they're really raising blood sugar high, that can raise insulin very high. And if insulin isn't that bully and it's not quite as effective, the body may need to make more insulin to do the same amount of job. Now, the blood sugar is going to sweep out of the system pretty quickly, but insulin stays high a lot longer. The problem is when insulin is high, the body can't access stored fat and burn that for fuel. It's just like money that's just sitting in the bank that you can't get at. So we need to eat in a way that doesn't spike blood sugar so high and bring insulin up high so that it stays long for hours after your blood sugar's gone. If we can balance out our blood sugar and keep it on a more even keel, then we can keep that insulin level at a lower level and allow the body to access stored fat once the blood sugar starts to go a little bit lower. When the body can access its backup fuel source, it's not going to scream for more food. It's screaming for more food because it doesn't have its backup system available to it. Reason number 6 is that a person might not be eating enough protein or fat, or they don't have the ability to digest those proteins or fat. But if someone is eating meals that are predominantly carbohydrates and they don't have enough proteins or fats in there, then those carbohydrates are going to kind of act like kindling, and they'll burn up really quickly, as to where proteins and fats can be like a slow burning log on the fire that can sustain you most of the day. So a lot of people need to eat more proteins or fats to not only sustain them longer, but to also slow down how hard those carbohydrates are going to hit their system. If they're creating those spikes and crashes when they're eating these carbohydrates, sometimes including more proteins or fats can slow down how hard those carbohydrates and how fast they hit your system and create that spike and crash. So sometimes just adding a little protein or fat into your meals can help the situation, but for a lot of people, they also need to be able to correctly digest those proteins and fats.